Hi there, and welcome to the Creatives Get Real podcast. I'm Roben-Marie Smith.
And I'm Sandi Keene, and these are real conversations about the creative life. Hello, Robin.
Hey, dear, how are you?
I'm doing great. Okay, I like this topic.
Oh, it's a good one. We always say that, but it is a good one.
It is a good one. This is actually one of my favorite things to do in the art world.
Mm-hmm.
So tell them what it is.
Okay, today we are discussing the benefits of doing an art challenge.
Yes, of being a participant in an art challenge, which I adore. Love them.
Yes, they really are a lot of fun. Some last longer than others. Some are shorter. You've heard us mentioning them in past podcasts. If you've heard that Sandi likes the short ones, they're a little bit more manageable. I've done the 100-day project 3 years in a row, and whoa, 100 days is a long time to commit. So you have to find what works for you. But we're going to talk about that today and what it's like, not only the benefits, but how you can find a challenge. And then also, what can you do to gain the most benefit from being a participant in a challenge? So that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yes. And now I'm itching to do one. Okay. Do you want to take the first one?
Yes, I will. Okay. So the first benefit, guys, is it helps you to develop a creative habit. And we all struggle with that, right? We get busy. Our lives are complicated. And then a day goes by, 2 days, a week, a month. Yes, I'm confessing there's been times when it's been a long time.
Did you just admit something?
I did. I confess. Usually you're the one confessing.
I know. I'm the serial admitter.
Well, you don't have the market on it, Sandi Keene.
I'm glad that it's your turn.
Just life gets in the way at times. And before you realize it, you're like, I cannot believe I have not been in the studio, or I haven't done something creative. And sitting down and doing a challenge and committing to that does help you, even if it's just some little something that you're doing every day. And because it's part of something bigger, you kind of feel like you're committed. It's like when I tell my girlfriend, yes, I'll be at the gym tonight. Yes, I will be there. I know I have to go because she's counting on me. And,
exactly.
There's more of an accountability there. So, so it does. It helps you to develop that creative habit and be consistent.
Right. I love that about it.
Yeah.
Okay, the second one, inspiration filled. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, tell me about, what do you mean by inspiration? Like you get inspiration or you find it, or like, how does that work?
For me, it's inspiration filled when you are participating in a challenge and you go to that hashtag, the hashtag that is that has been assigned by the creator of the challenge. And that page just loads and you just see that grid of all that color and all those different responses to a single prompt.
Oh, yeah.
I find that wildly inspiring. It pushes me. I tend to do art in a fairly small box, which just annoys the crap out of me that's the way I think, but it is. So anytime that I can be pushed to look at something differently, it is a great thing in my world. So I love that.
I'm thinking that what prompted me when you were saying that to think about it was, this takes me back to 2014. Is that what we started?
Let's not go back there.
Oh, we're not going back to the 80s. We're just going back to 2014.
Are you going to say those 3 letters?
Okay, I won't say the letters. But
DLP.
DLP, Documented Life Project. But you remember, though, that's what that was about. I mean, it was a challenge on a huge scale because it was like huge. But think about the inspiration that we got from that, just a prompt and where that went and how it exploded. So I see that. Yeah. Because you're in your mind, like you said, we do tend to kind of work in the familiar and we sometimes are in that box. And so by being inspired and looking what others have done to interpret a prompt makes you think, why would I never thought of that? And it's cool. It really is.
Yeah. I mean, it's shocking that seeing one thing can change your trajectory, your art career completely. I mean, that sounds dramatic, but it really can, because if you've been doing a medium and you have never thought about adding pen, like doodling over your painting, and you see that and your mind explodes, and you're like, I'm going to try that. I'm scared to death, but I'm going to try it. And you just catch fire with it.
Yeah.
And that becomes your new thing. You just never know what one thing is going to really ignite something in you. I think that's like one of the most exciting things about art, is that ability to just see one thing and be changed forever.
But that's how ideas come to you anyway. I mean, there's times when I'm working in there and this idea pops into my head from something totally unexpected, and you're like, wow, where did that come from? Yay, and you just really get excited about it. Well, that leads us into the third benefit, which is working from a prompt, which is a good thing and a bad thing, right? Or a positive and a negative, depending on how you want to look at it. Because
I think it's always positive, but let's hear what you say.
Well, it can be, what if you don't really like it, and you're, but that's not a bad thing, because we're going to talk about that in another one of the benefits, because you're saying, okay, I'm going to take this prompt and I'm going to work from that. It may not even be something that you would have normally have done before, but it's guided. And sometimes that's what you need when you go into the studio. You just need a little help, kind of, all right, I don't know where to start. What do I do? And that one little prompt is going to get you going, and it's going to help jumpstart whatever follows.
For me, I think about, fireplaces, building a fire, those fire starters, those little fat soaked little log things, and you like that, and it takes off, and then from there you go, completely crazy. That's what I think of prompts as, like a fire starter. And even if it's something that doesn't interest me at all, here's a secret, that it's not a very good secret because everybody kind of knows, but I just want to remind people, if there's a prompt in a challenge that totally doesn't fit you, change it.
Right. You're not locked in. Yeah.
No, don't get stuck. Don't fret. Change it. If they're saying, okay, draw frogs, and you're like, I don't do frogs, so I'm going to do lily pads. Exactly. I'm going to do Monet, lily pads on water, that kind of thing. Because
that's your interpretation. And that's,
exactly. I don't do frogs. So change it. Be creative. Don't get stuck. Okay. The next one is new friends / community. Oh my gosh. Yes.
And we probably should have said this earlier. We're talking Instagram primarily.
Yes.
These challenges being on Instagram, you're posting on Instagram with those hashtags and so forth. So
Right. So community, you are a part of a group. A lot of people that I talk to in coaching are seeking community desperately. You and I are very lucky because we live in the same town and we can do art together.
Yes.
And we both have other people that we do art with. There are people that don't have anyone in their town to do art with, and that's a really sad thing. But this is a small way to feel as a part of that global community. And you're doing art side by side with people in different countries. And it's a really cool thing. Yeah. And you never know, your next best friend could be in that challenge with you, and you start chatting, and then you're FaceTiming, and then you're getting on planes and seeing each other. Cool things like that happen every single
It absolutely
day.
does. Yeah.
Yeah. It's happened to both of us. Yes. So
yeah, it's crazy. It really is. But
it's crazy good.
It's crazy good. It's awesome. Yeah. Okay. The last benefit is, we touched on it, stretching creatively. Depending on what the challenge is about. I think for me, committing to the 100-day project 3 years in a row really stretched me. It stretched me in my ability to commit and be disciplined.
Right.
And it just really focused me and said, okay, I can make 5 or 10 of these, whatever the action is or whatever the project was, but 100. Wow. So you really do, if you allow yourself to be stretched, you can be and really grow from doing it.
Right. Yep. And especially if you join a challenge in a medium or an area that is not your comfort zone, or it's something you've never done before, and you're like, I'm just going to go crazy and I'm going to join, this oil painting one, even though I've done one oil painting or a half of one in my life. Oil painting's not my thing. It never will be, but I love to look at them and I love what other people are doing, but you just never know. So, go into rubber stamping, inking, watercolor, acrylics, faces, landscape, travel journaling, anything that's something new that you've looked at and you wish that you were part of. So I can't tell you how many years I looked at watercolor wishing that I had the courage to, absolutely try it.
And now look at where you are.
And now I'm 2 years in and I can actually say I'm going to paint an X. And when I'm done, whatever that X is, like I just tried my first real landscape. And darn it if it doesn't look like a landscape. Thank you, God. But it takes courage.
Yes, it does.
Because your brain is telling you you're going to fail, as it always does. But yeah, go into that new medium that you've been looking at longingly and give it a shot.
Yeah, I agree. So how do we find a challenge?
That can be difficult.
Because we've been asked that question. How do you find one? And it's not easy. We're just going to say it. Because I've gotten on there and I've even gotten on Google looking for them. And it's not the easiest thing. But we've got some pointers here.
We do. So why don't you take the first one? Because you've actually written about this.
Yes. There are we'll just call them annual repeaters. There's some that actually take place every year. And they're hosted, and usually they all have the same hashtag, unless it's one where they'll add the year to it. Sometimes they'll do that. One that we've already touched on is the 100-Day Project. And that typically starts around early April, not the very first week days, but it's somewhere in that first week. And they have a website, so you can go on and find out when everything is starting. Most challenges you don't really have to sign up for. You just jump in and join. I mean, there are different kinds. We're really talking about the ones that you don't sign up for. You're just strictly participating in them. There's also March Meet the Maker, which I think is a great one for us as creatives and makers. And that one obviously takes place in March. And I've done that one, I think, the last couple of years. I really enjoy that one, because that one, it's a little bit different than making the art, even though there's times the prompts are related to that. But it's really helping you share your story in your Instagram feed, which is so important, because we kind of don't do that enough.
That's true.
And it helps your followers get to know you better as an artist and a maker. There's also Inktober, which is going on right now. I have never participated in that. I've been like you, where I've kind of looked at it and said, ooh, I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. So maybe one year I will jump in and do it.
Maybe next year we'll both do it.
Maybe, because I would like to, but
I would too.
I'm scared of that. Anything that has to do with drawing and sketching and ink but maybe.
I think we should.
One more that is an annual is 21 Days in My Art Journal. So we'll link to these in the show notes, but I think that's another one. I don't know exactly which month that one is, but that's another one that is a regular repeater, an annual repeater. And then there are those that are they just pop up and they happen at random. So
yeah.
Okay. How about another one? How about another way to find a challenge?
We're going through an Instagram feed. Look for a prompt list. This is a good indicator that there's a challenge coming up. You'll see a graphic and it's got numbers and prompts. And you told me about a way that you saved them that I thought was really smart.
I do. Because it may be coming up, or at that moment, I'm like, you're on your Instagram feed, you're probably doing something else. So what I do is there's a way that you can save images. You can just save them randomly, but you can also save them to collections. And so I have a collection that is just for challenges. And so when I see a prompt, I save it into my collection so I can access it later. And what I like about this idea too is even if I don't participate in the challenge live, those are prompts that I can access later and do on my own if I wanted to in my own journal or whatever. Because some of them are really good. And so that's how I save it. Or you can screenshot it and then it goes to your camera roll. So there's, a couple ways that you can do that.
So if you've never done collections on Instagram, if you'll look on your feed right underneath the photo on the right-hand corner, there's a little flag pendant icon. If you tap on that, that opens your collections and you can save it there. You can also create little folders within there. Like if you can have florals, leaves, or mediums, whatever you want. I have not been using collections that long. I just like tapped it accidentally and like, what's this?
Oh, jackpot.
Yeah. I mean, I've been using it less than a year. So, so I'm sure there's other people like me who didn't even know it existed. And it's an awesome filing system for things because, wow, there's so much on Instagram. Yep. And that's a great way to organize things.
Because it's like its own little pin. It's like pin boards in your Instagram.
That's a good way of thinking about it. Because I always just screenshot. But then, that gets lost in your photos.
That's right.
Yeah, this is way better. So if you haven't used that, please start collections. Okay. You want to take the next one? Because you're going to be talking about me.
Oh, yeah. You want to watch for those that do them regularly. Now, why didn't you take that one? You are the man, as they say. Yes, you want to watch for the ones that pop up that aren't annual repeaters, but they're ones that come up randomly here and there. And those that do them regularly probably are going to have more. So you can watch them. So share with us, because you and Ray both do them quite regularly. So
we do. We actually host them because we both love challenges because of the benefits we just talked about and because it creates community. So we are often, we're doing one just between the two of us right now called 2 Takes. But we are all the time, probably 3 or 4 times a year, we have a challenge going on that's open to absolutely everyone. And if you find people that are doing challenges, follow them so that when you see that prompt list come up, there's a new challenge coming.
That's right. And if you don't get in on a challenge right when it starts, it's okay. This is not
absolutely
not timed. You're not tracked. It's just a fun way to just join in. I mean, there were people joining the 100-Day Project way into it. It's not something, don't think so rigidly about rules and all that. Just for fun and just pop in when you're ready and just do them. And some of them are shorter. You guys do them what? Are they like a week or 14 days or?
My favorite is 30 days. I really like the 30 days. It's a good long practice. But we've done 7, 14, and 30.
Okay. Yeah. And that's great because there's a variety there. Some might rather them be shorter and others might prefer the longer ones too, which 30 days is not bad. I mean, you've pretty much created your habit by that time. So
which is why I like it. But and I wanted to mention there's 2 ways to jump in. You can either jump in where everyone else is. Let's say they're on prompt 5.
Yep.
Start with prompt 5 and just forget 1 through 4. Just don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
And just stay current. The other way is to jump in, start with 1, and don't worry about where everyone else is, because actually there's like a core group that stays on task and stays on the number, but there's a larger group that doesn't. So there are no strong set rules.
Yeah, and you might be motivated and have the time to do more than one at a time, and then you can post. So yeah, great advice on that. Great advice.
Yeah, either way, whatever works for you.
Yeah.
And then the other way is to actually get on Instagram, ask people. Do you know, I'm looking for a challenge. Do you know a good challenge? And there'll be maybe suggestions in the comments. If not one, that's going on right that minute, but ones that people have participated in and really enjoyed that are coming up.
Yeah, that's just a great way to find them. And then that gets everybody talking, and then you can say, oh yeah, I know so-and-so did this one. And that's really great. Just ask.
Yeah, absolutely.
Plus that helps with engagement on your post too. Okay, so how do we gain the most benefit from participating in a challenge?
Yes. Number one, make sure that you're fully in. And that means if you're going to do it, let's do it. Participate.
Right.
Jump in. Have fun. Go all in. Okay. Number two.
Yes. Number two, the hashtag. Make sure you're using the challenge hashtag every time you post.
Yes.
That's important so other people can find you, because if they're participating, they want to see everybody else's prompts and what they're doing, and they're going to search the hashtag, and that's how they will find you.
Right. And I want people to think about, it doesn't matter what level you're at. So when you go into a challenge, know that there are going to be people that it's the first time they've ever done a challenge, or maybe they're a more established artist, but it's the first time they're doing the medium. There's people of every skill level, of every experience level. So don't be afraid, like, oh, I'm not good enough.
Right.
I can't do this because I've never done ink before. You and half the people in there.
To next year. Did we really?
I think we did. I'm going to hound you. I'm going to put a note in my calendar. Start hounding Roben-Marie.
She's giving me the eye, people, because we're doing video today. We're not in the same room, and it's like we're doing it. She just stuck that in there, guys.
I did. I think I did. I'll have you sign something later.
I don't know. I can't do it.
Yes, you can.
Oh,
we have to model this for everyone.
I know.
Okay.
Right. Next.
Number 3, commenting. That's so important. That's all about engagement. And that means getting on there, going on that hashtag. And when you see one that blows you away, you stop and you comment and you say, I love the way you did, and then explain it.
Absolutely.
And here's the other thing. This is what I try to always do, and I think we should always do. When you see someone on there that is being brave, you can look at their art and you're like, okay, this person is a beginner and they are posting. You get in there and you give them kudos. Good for you for posting. I love the way you did whatever.
You can
I love that.
Find something nice and positive to say. It's so important. Yes.
It's so encouraging. It's so uplifting. And that is our jobs. I really believe that strongly. That's our jobs, is to get in there and encourage those people that are being brave and trying something new, because we have all been there and we will all be there again. Like if somebody handed me a baseball bat and told me to play sports, man, I'm going to need some encouragement.
This is true. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. And then the last one is share the challenge. Let other people know about it. If you really enjoy it and you have benefited, share it. If you're just starting, you're like, oh, guys, you need to see this challenge. You need to participate in it. So do share it. And then that will encourage and help the person who's hosting it as well
to grow that challenge.
That's right.
I mean, that's a good time to get in there and use that @ symbol and get your friends, like, at Roben-Marie, shouldn't we be doing this challenge together?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Invite your friends, let them know about it, and create community within community. You can have a little group right inside that huge group that you and your friends are doing together.
Yep. I agree. Okay. So let's recap. Benefits: developing a creative habit. That's 1.
Number 2, inspiration galore.
And 3, working from a prompt.
Number 4, new friends and building community.
And number 5 was stretching creatively. So those are the benefits of joining a challenge. So get out there and find one.
We challenge you. We do challenge you.
That's right.
That didn't make sense, but you know what I meant.
Yes. And I know our listeners did too. So we love doing challenges, and we encourage you, find one and jump in and just go for it.
Absolutely.
You will enjoy it.
You see a great one and you think Roben-Marie should join, you tell her.
Oh boy, here we go.
Did you see that bus?
How many of these am I going to be tagged on? I know. They're going to start tagging me on Inktober is what they're going to do. Oh, mercy.
Yeah, just put at Roben-Marie. See you next year. There you go. Oh no. Oh no.
We just started something there, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we did.
Oh, my friend, it's been wonderful chatting with you. Guys, we're so happy to have you listening and tuning in. We thank you so much for your support always.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. We'll talk soon.
All right. Bye now.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Creatives Get Real.
We love hearing from you. So hop on over to Instagram and leave us a comment. And we also appreciate reviews on iTunes.
And you can find me, Sandi Keene, at sandykeene.com and my classes at popupartclasses.com.
And you can find me, Roben-Marie Smith, at robenmarie.com. And if you're looking for and need tech support, check out my membership site, makerstechu.com.